Based on your knowledge of basketball overall and what you've been seeing from this docuseries, The Last Dance, whose legacy out of everybody else, Mark Jackson, do you believe was most negatively impacted by the greatness of Michael Jordan?
As a player or as a executive or a coach or any direction?
Both. Both. You could go player, you could go reputation, you could go any way you want.
Well, I think a couple things. Jerry Krause obviously takes a hit in the documentary. The light's not shine bright on him. Unfortunately, he had an incredible run, Hall of Fame run, 6 championships, built that team, added pieces, and doesn't get enough credit. So I don't like the way he's portrayed. Obviously, he made mistakes in the way he handled different things, but still, 6 championships is a heck of an accomplishment.
I'm thinking players.
When you look at players, I would think of the opposition. I think anybody that played, whether it be Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton, all of the great players during that time that did not have the opportunity to win a championship because of the greatness of Michael Jordan, outside of his retirement where Hakeem Olajuwon was the best player on both sides of the floor for those 2 years. I think it's a hit to those guys because they're not only first ballot Hall of Famers, but those guys are absolutely home run talent that doesn't get enough credit and appreciation only because the light shines so bright on Michael Jordan, deservedly so, but we don't give those guys enough credit. I mean, playing aside of Pat Ewing and Reggie Miller alone, I understand and appreciate how truly great those guys were.
Coach, Reggie Miller's a great player, no doubt. Maybe it's because I grew up a Knicks fan. But Patrick Ewing was an MVP just about caliber player who never won the championship, and even when Jordan went away, almost came very, very close against the Rockets. And on the other hand, Reggie Miller also without a championship, and Stockton and Malone and all those guys. Who do you feel worst for out of all those players that I just mentioned for being Charles Barkley, for being ringless? Who does your heart go out to the most?
It's easy to say the other guys, and I know them, but I spent time with Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing personally. And I also played with John Stockton and Karl Malone in Utah, and I know Charles Barkley as a brother and a friend. I would say those guys identify the most because, especially the ones I played with, because I know how much blood, sweat, and tears they put into it. And to me, it's criminal when you look at whether it be Madison Square Garden or Indiana, to not have a statue, especially in Indiana, to not have a statue of Reggie Miller outside of that building is a crime. He is Mr. Indiana Pacer. He did everything that you need to do to identify with greatness and an example for your organization. It is long overdue and well-deserved.